Welcome back to Flip the Switch with Allie, where reality meets satire. Nobody knows the difference. Anyways, today we're going to talk about money. Why? I don't know, because it's, something that makes the world go round, right? It's the root of all evil. It's something that we all need because without it, we can't survive. But why? Money, it's like made up. Somebody just one day was like, I think that we're going to do this instead of bartering. And so now we put all of our trust into money, but really it's just a piece of paper. So, like, why do we need money? What's the point? So, one of the things that I realized when I was researching, different things about money is that, we used to barter, but there came to be a point where, for example, if you sold milk and you needed a pair of shoes, but, the person making the shoes is lactose intolerant, then, how are you going to give them something of value? Situations like that was how the first currency started. And of course, they used metals because metals are precious and that's something that has value that people can actually use. But today, our currency is paper, and it in and of itself doesn't have any intrinsic value. So with that being said, I want to look at wealth. You look at some of the wealthiest people in the world, and there's such a small percentage of them that have such a large, vast amount of money that it doesn't even make sense. So it's so vast, in fact, that if you look at the worth of Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, our human brains cannot even comprehend a number that big. But just to break it down and put it into perspective, I took some notes. So right now, Bezos' net worth is $136.7 billion. And Elon Musk's is $253.4 billion. Now, the average American salary is about $50,000 annually. Okay. So when you're looking at the differences between the average person and how much these people have, let's just put it this way. To match $200 billion, which is kind of in between the two, you'd have to work for 4,111,405 years, making $50,000 a year. So how many lifetimes is that? That's ridiculous. And I repeat, if you make $50,000 a year, it will take you 4,111,405 years to make $200 billion. And on top of that, it would take you even longer because you're going to be taxed for that money. Whereas Bezos and Musk and, all the wealthiest people in the world, they're not taxed. And they pride themselves on getting out of taxes, especially in the United States, which is another thing that I took a brief glimpse at. So, basically, from September 19th to September 2020, I found some data on Jeff Bezos. And in that year, his net worth increased by $70 billion. So basically, that's $9 million an hour in that year. That is ridiculous. But let's break it down into minutes. So every minute during that year, even while he was sleeping, he would have been making $146,000 every minute. Let's break it down by second. Every second in the year between September 2019 to 2020, Jeff Bezos made $2,489 per second. Okay. Now, in 45 minutes, that's more than the average doctor would make in a lifetime. And in 2 days, he's made the net worth of Beyonce. So when you think about that amount of wealth, it just doesn't make sense. This man is never going to be able to spend this money. His children are never going to be able to spend all that money. It just doesn't seem to make sense to me. So I'm going to ask an opposing opinion what he thinks. Tyler, what are your thoughts on the wealth inequality between the big billionaires of the world and your average everyday person?
I mean, I know we covered this in an episode before.
Yes, we did.
Where being a CEO of a company, being in charge of a company, one is more work than I think people give it credit for. And two, when you own a company, you can pay yourself whatever you want. You can get paid whatever you want, and you can offer jobs that are paid pretty much whatever you want. And if people choose to work those jobs, that's their choice. Same thing as you choosing what to pay yourself. I mean, I know people don't like it, but I don't see anybody stopping buying stuff from Amazon anytime soon.
Good point. So with that being said, do you think that people who are making this much money just because they decide that, that's how much they would make, do you think that there should be, anything to prevent them from making that much money? And I mean, you have answered this before, but for the new viewers.
I would say, yep, we've answered this before. No, because I don't believe in that much government overreach when it comes to the world of business. I believe that too much is too taxed, is too trying to be controlled for the government, for equality, for this, for that. I don't believe in that much government overreach.
So would you say that you hold that belief because you would hope yourself that if you were running a business that you would be able to set your own price?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I'm very much, if I run my own business and it's profitable and we're making money and people are getting paid and they're working the jobs, then yeah, I'm going to pay myself what I think is fair for having, started, run, and built this company.
And that's exactly what many people think. And that's why a lot of people see value in capitalism. So with that being said, I just want to also mention that when you have as much wealth as he has that he will never be able to spend, my thoughts on it is that, I don't think your average person is going to say, I want to make that much, knowing that it's taking from other people and basically it being on the bottom. So I have one more question for you, Tyler, and I don't think we've actually gone over this yet. But do you think that if you were in the position of Bezos, do you think that you would choose to make that much money and not pay taxes and not give back to the charities? And we'll get to the exploitation on his workers in a minute.
As far as charities, I'm a different person than Bezos is. I would definitely have charities that I want to give to if I were that rich. So, I mean, that's obviously a very much an individual basis kind of question.
Yep.
And, but as far as making that much money, yeah, absolutely. Like, I absolutely want to make that much money because I could set it aside in a bank account and provide for my family for generations. And if I can do that for my family and generations, again, I'm into charities. I'm not Jeff Bezos. Yeah, I would absolutely want to do that. And as far as taxes, I mean, there are ways for everybody to find the gray areas, and whether or not you're willing to look for them is kind of on you.
So there you have it. So when you're looking at it from a moral standpoint, and one of the reasons why I personally favor Elon over Bezos is because Elon and other multi-millionaires and billionaires, they're known for giving back, giving to charity. They're not known for paying taxes. I mean, if, like Tyler said, if you're smart enough to know how to get around it, you might as well. And that's something that everyday business people are able to do. You just have to find the right tax person, ask the right questions. So that's on you, and I completely agree with that. However, when it comes down to the part where, like Tyler said, yes, he would like to have that kind of generational wealth. But at the same time, he's also not an immoral person, whereas he would like to do some sort of charities. And I would like to say that that is how most people would look at it. However, looking at Bezos, this man refuses. All the other millionaires and billionaires have this little contract agreement where they're going to give a certain portion of their wealth towards good causes, basically. Jeff Bezos was the only one that refused to sign anything that said that he would give any of his wealth away from anything. With that being said, we're going to go into how he treats his employees, because so many people work for Amazon. And for the record, I don't shop at Amazon unless, that is like free shipping or something that benefits me. Just because I know that Amazon has said before, like, you don't think that my employees are really peeing in cups and stuff like that. But these people, what he's done is he has taken technology that follows these people around and records their data to the point where not only are they tracked where they are, but even their hand movements in the factories and things like that are being tracked. Everything is being tracked to make sure that it's absolute efficiency. And when you're being micromanaged like that, not only if you don't make your numbers, not only are you fired, you're not even fired by a person. You're fired by a machine that says you're not meeting your quota. So absolutely, it has actually, at one point, Jeff Bezos tweeted, "Do you really think that people are peeing in containers?" And kind of scoffed it off. But he actually had to retract that statement, because it was proven that people were actually peeing in containers to try to make their quota so that they can continue to work for him. He owns just a little bit of pretty much everything, which means that he's able to control everything. He owns shares in Google. Obviously, he owns shares in Apple. He owns shares for Amazon. And his Amazon Alexa is one of the products that sits there, and as you speak throughout the day, it listens to what you're saying, just like Google does. And he uses that data to see how you're going to behave, what you're going to buy, where you're going to go. How else can he make more money off of you? And so for me, it's just a question of morality. So whereas I understand people wanting the opportunity for generational wealth, again, it will take a person with an average salary of $50,000 a year, 4,111,405 years to make as much as $200 billion, which is about right there between Bezos and Musk. So if that's the case, if you have that kind of money, it's not just generational wealth. That is like wealth to the end of Earth's existence. And, to be completely honest, if you're never going to spend that much money, I just don't understand how it's fair for, everyday people like you and me who are sitting here struggling paycheck to paycheck and doing the best that we can to move forward and achieve our goals. But, I guess if you really want to make that kind of money, you got to be the next Elon Musk or Bezos, right? So, that excludes people with any kind of disabilities that might prevent them from doing things like that in that nature. But life isn't fair. So, but how can we save money? All right. We've already talked about how much, these wealthy people are making. So people like you and me, how can we save money? Well, let me put it this way. They don't teach us that stuff in school. They're not going to sit there and tell us, like, hey, by the way, this is how you do your taxes. You don't learn that in high school, do you? They don't sit here and say, you know what, if you take the credit that you have that you're given by, the government with your social security number and all that, and you build your credit and you take that credit, it's going to accrue some interest. So if you take that money and accrue it and put it in an account where it accrues more interest than what you owe, you can actually make money without actually touching the money. And that's called passive income. You don't learn that stuff in high school. A lot of people don't learn this stuff until they go on TikTok or social media or somewhere where, the media is not being controlled by, Jeff Bezos. This man is literally out to have as much wealth as he can, and at the expense of everybody. And at what point is he going to say, oh, shit, well, I already took the wealth from all of those little people down there, and now none of them can even shop at Amazon because I took all their money. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I am all for, not shopping with Amazon. So there's that. Now, another thing that I want to talk about is stuff that will help us save money as consumers. And so I've noticed recently that for me personally, my electric bill is through the roof, okay? And it has been lately. And this is nationwide. With the cost of gas going up as fast as it is, and everybody trying to switch to electric cars or some sort of a hybrid to try to save money on gasoline and fossil fuels, people aren't just going green to go green anymore. People are going green to save green in their pockets. And who could blame them? At this point, with the way that everything's going, it is becoming so expensive to live that people are finding themselves homeless, living in their cars. It is becoming trendy for people to turn a school bus or a minivan or an old mail carrier into a house on wheels and to travel. It's becoming trendy because, well, people are broke, and that's what we can do. And if we're going to be broke, I guess we might as well have a house on wheels that can travel, right? Why not? So let's go ahead and take a look at some ways that we can cut down on our, on our electric costs. So I've looked into this recently, and I have come in touch with a solar company. As you can see it being scrolled down on the bottom, Megawatt. They can handle your solar needs nationwide. You can call them at the bottom, and you can receive $1,000 upon installation if you do choose to go solar. And so one of the things that I was looking at is, people are, I'm sure you guys have gotten phone calls, or you've had somebody that has come to your door or tried to talk to you about solar, or you've at least heard about it. Most people have. So somebody called me not that long ago, and they said, hey, have you looked into solar? There's nothing out of pocket. And, it just really sounded too good to be true to me. So I decided to look further into it. And that's actually what inspired me to go ahead and do this show on money, because everybody is trying to save money right now. And, none of us can blame it. We're all broke, especially us millennials, with all that student debt that, even though some of it's been relieved, it's not like I'm not still in debt. I am. So what I'm saying is that I got in touch with this company, and I found out that apparently it really does help people to save money to go solar. So let's go ahead and, I heard Flip Switch Industries also jumped onto solar. And so let's see what Flip Switch Industries has to say about their solar while we go on a quick break. And then when we come back, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about an actual company, Megawatt, that I met up with this week. Okay, so enjoy the break. Are you tired of overpaying for your energy these days? I bet you are. And have I got a solution for you? Brought to you by Flip Switch Industries, Flip Solar. We're flipping the energy companies on their heads. And why? Because it's too expensive. It is more affordable for most Americans to switch to solar than it is for them to continue to use their current electric company. And why? Well, let's start out with that there's nothing out of pocket to switch to solar this year, so you would save money as soon as you turn your panels on. The only question is, what are you going to spend all that money on?
Real freedom is financial freedom. Now let me tell you what, not only did their solar panels bring the value of my home up a good 4.8%, but I have tons of money left over every month. Have you heard of net metering? Them bad boys up there, I got so many of them, I produce more energy than I could ever use. The electricity company, they pay me back for it. It becomes a passive form of income. Now you tell me, what's more expensive, my wife or the guns? It doesn't even matter. You know why? Because I got money for all the guns and all the freedoms I could ever need. And I got her a big old diamond ring, and she's happy. You smell that venison stew? Just caught that buck not that long ago. It's fresh. Gotta go eat something, you heard?
Ah, financial freedom. It really is freedom at its finest. Now the only question is, how many guns are you gonna buy and how much freedom? Neither is ever enough. Don't hesitate, call us now. Flip Switch Industries, bringing the technology we all deserve. Are you tired of the energy companies destroying our planet? Of course you are. Flip Switch Industries introduces Flip Solar. All my chakras are aligned and telling me that solar was the right way to go. Not only is it green and clean for the environment, but it's green in my pocket, which means more green in my pipe. Namaste.
Going solar is the best way to go green. It's the best way to save green. And of course, with all that green you're saving, you can do other things that are green. Flip Switch Industries, bringing us the technology we all deserve. Do you or a loved one suffer from the inability to stop speaking? Do people cringe at the sound of your voice? Does the beginning of your sentence ever start in the middle of somebody else's? Well, shut the fuck up might be the right thing you're looking for.
Man, shut the fuck up is great. I take it everywhere. I used to be really bad at taking social cues in any situation. Girls wouldn't talk to me, they would just find me annoying. But anytime I'm at a party or any type of social gathering at all, I always have a piece of this bad boy with me. Best thing ever.
Here at Flip Switch Industries, we strive to make the world a better place by fixing people that society doesn't like. Incorrect and unpopular opinions are a thing of the past. Yeah, I tried Shut the Fuck Up. It was horrible. And then I tried to go back and get a refund, and these people were not listening to me. They said that they couldn't give refunds on a free sample. Well, you know what? It violated my rights, okay? It violated my rights, and I have every right to not be offended by telling. Well, I just didn't want to be told to be shut the fuck up, okay? And then I got really mad because they wouldn't let me see a manager, and I brought out my phone and I told them, I said, you know what? You can all be Facebook famous. Is that what you want? Because let me tell you what, they were not listening to me. And what are you doing? What are you doing? What the fuck is this? I bet the boys back in the 1800s wish they had some of this for Sojourner Truth. Who did she think she was, always speaking up about equality? Apparently, she thought she was a woman.
We've been married going on 3 years now. It was a little bumpy in the beginning, wasn't it, honey?
Yeah.
We found Shut the Fuck Up and it solved all of our problems. We ain't gotta worry about that no more, do we, dear?
Yep, it sure did save our marriage. I used to have a lot of opinions, and I would speak them out loud, which is really embarrassing for him, you know, for him not to speak for me. So that's just a problem of the past now, though, isn't it, honey?
It's totally in the past, sweetheart. We found Shut the Fuck Up and answered all of our problems. Nothing we gotta worry about anymore, do we, baby?
Nope.
Thanks, Shut the Fuck Up. I didn't tell you could speak. Hey, you got a spare piece of that for me? There we go.
Shut the Fuck Up has reduced domestic violence by 30%, and our patented silencer technology is safe for everyone. Even kids can shut the fuck up. Don't tell my husband this, but when I really need a moment to myself and those kids just won't leave me alone, the kids can get some too. Shut the Fuck Up is sold at fine Walmarts across the United States, and it's cheaper than court costs.
Damn, girl, you looking sexy as hell. It's like an angel fell from heaven.
Hell no, Kyle. Flip Switch Industries, bringing us the technology that we all deserve.
All right, so I hope you enjoyed those commercials for that break. Flip Switch Industries bringing the best products that, don't really exist, but whatever. Solar panels are real, and they do exist. And here in a little bit, we're going to see if we can get one of the representatives from Megawatt in to call and tell us a little bit more about solar, because from what I understand and from what I've learned, it's actually cheaper for people to go solar than it is for them to stay with their current electric company. There's nothing out of pocket to switch this year, so I'm hoping that she could explain that, because it sounds too good to be true, but apparently it's not. So I'd like for somebody to explain. In the meantime, I would like to talk to you guys about some ways that we can make more money. Some ways that I've seen people on social media trying to make more money. I don't know if anybody else is on TikTok or, the reels that you flip through. If anybody goes down one of those rabbit holes that talk about manifestation. And so I don't know if you guys believe in, like, if you've seen the movie The Secret, or if you believe in the law of attraction. But so many people that are wealthy swear by it. Jim Carrey said that he wrote himself a check for $1 million, and that he was actually able to cash it in at the time that he decided that he wanted to cash it in at. And because of that, it kind of raised some eyebrows. Now, we know that Jim Carrey is raising all kinds of eyebrows lately, but that's one of the things that he said really helped him. And there's so many people that talk about manifestation and doing simple things like reading a mantra out loud, looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, I am wealthy. I am stunning. I'm a hard worker. I'm gorgeous, or whatever, just to, give yourself a little bit of positivity and to make sure that, you can manifest these things, manifest wealth, manifest wellness, and that kind of thing. So what I'm saying is that if it works, why not try it? If it doesn't work, go ahead and try it anyways. It might just work for you. Who knows? We have a full moon coming out pretty soon. If it's not today, it's tomorrow. And I'm just saying, I heard that it's a good time to go ahead and connect with your inner self and zen with the world, manifest some new money. And besides, if you do find yourself in a position where you're not happy financially, you could do what plenty of people do and start over, find a new way to make money, and, start a business of your own. Find your passion, follow that. And, I really, really believe that when you're doing something that you love, you are never working a day in your life, which is why I jumped out of healthcare. Even though I loved it so much, I was not making the money that I needed to make. I had to sit there and face the fact that it's just not going to be feasible for me to make the amount of money that I want to make to take care of myself, my son, and to get the things done that I want to do. So I left healthcare and I decided to start a new chapter. I moved to a different state, and I have been, making enough money to where I am able to do things that I love, like, start a podcast so that everybody can hear my shitty opinions. Hey. So with that being said, again, and if you didn't notice, I do like to say that a lot. With that being said, or, just things like that. I say that a lot too, So we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about a couple things that I have done personally to make sure that I have everything that I need and things that are helping me save money. I'm going to say right now, I know a lot of people don't like credit. And what they don't understand is that so many people use credit to build wealth. And I'll tell you right now, there has been many people that said that they have just gotten a credit card. They used it to purchase something that they knew would gain their money, whatever that may be, whether it's, a home or a business, or they buy stocks. These are all different things that you can use to accrue money. And yes, there's going to be interest on your credit. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to start out, even on creditkarma.com. You can find out what your credit score is, see what kind of loans you would be eligible for. Use your credit wisely. And as long as you're using your credit, you're going to build your credit. And so many people, use credit, which is not money at all, to create money, which even though it's a piece of paper, it sure does get us what we need, right? So, I mean, hey, I may never reach Bezos or Musk's status, but as long as I'm happy, I'm okay with that. So, another thing that we're going to go ahead and move forward with is going to be next episode. I want to know what you guys want to hear about. So, drop some comments down below on some things that you might want me to talk about. And I know that we go over some pretty serious things regularly, but I think I'm just kind of ready to do stuff that's less heavy. So Halloween's coming up. I want to know, what's your favorite part about Halloween? I know a lot of people love pumpkin spice. A lot of people, they just like the costumes. Some people like, appropriating cultures. Some people get mad about it. Tell me, what do you love and what do you love? What do you love and what do you love to hate about Halloween?
Apple cider's better than pumpkin spice. Fight me.
Okay, listen. I'm an equal opportunity drinker, so I'm going to go ahead and say right now, I like both. But the question is, do you drink your apple cider warm or cold?
Both ways.
Oh, okay. I got you. Well, I prefer mine cold. I don't really care for it warm. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and see if we could get in touch with the people at Megawatt. We're going to take a very short break. And then when we come back, hopefully we'll be able to talk to Stephanie with Megawatt, and she'll be able to tell us a little bit more about how we could save money switching to solar.
Are you tired of overpaying for your energy these days? I bet you are. And have I got a solution for you? Brought to you by Flip Switch Industries, Flip Solar. We're flipping the energy companies on their heads. And why? Because it's too expensive. It is more affordable for most Americans to switch to solar than it is for them to continue to use their current electric company. And why? Well, let's start out with that there's nothing out of pocket to switch to solar this year, so you would save money as soon as you turn your panels on. The only question is, what are you going to spend all that money on?
Real freedom is financial freedom. Now let me tell you what, not only did their solar panels bring the value of my home up a good 4.8%, but I have tons of money left over every month. Have you heard of net metering? Them bad boys up there, I got so many of them, I produce more energy than I could ever use. The electricity company, they pay me back for it. It becomes a passive form of income. Now you tell me, what's more expensive, my wife or the guns? It doesn't even matter. You know why? Because I got money for all the guns and all the freedoms I could ever need. And I got her a big old diamond ring and she's happy. You smell that venison stew? Just caught that buck not that long ago. It's fresh. Gotta go eat something, you heard?
Ah, financial freedom. It really is freedom at its finest. Now the only question is, how many guns are you gonna buy and how much freedom? You know, neither is ever enough. Don't hesitate, call us now. Flip Switch Industries, bringing the technology we all deserve. Are you tired of the energy companies destroying our planet? Of course you are. Flip Switch Industries introduces Flip Solar.
All my chakras are aligned and telling me that solar was the right way to go. Not only is it green and clean for the environment, but it's green in my pocket, which means more green in my pipe. Namaste.
Going solar is the best way to go green. It's the best way to save green. And of course, with all that green you're saving, you can do other things that are green. Flip Switch Industries, bringing us the technology we all deserve. Are you tired of internet trolls? Maybe you just don't like arguing with people on the internet. Maybe you're tired of unsolicited dick pics. Well, have I got the perfect solution for you. Welcome to the light web. Now, as opposed to the dark web where there's all kinds of bad media, on the light web, you're never going to see anything that you don't want. In fact, according to our statistics, everybody loves the light web.
Bro, the light web is where it's at. No one's mean to me on here. No one calls me a douchebag. The app is on point. Show me your tits. Nice.
The light web makes sure that you are only matched with people who have like interests. What does that mean? Well, it's a happy place for everybody. By the way, there's no censorship. The light web was the perfect opportunity to find like-minded people. So all day, my internet is my internet. It's full of funny animal videos and cats, people rescuing animals, and just such good vibes. I've been looking for this for a long time. Thanks, light web. I was so tired of all those hating-ass Michigan fans coming on my Facebook and trolling and shit. You know what? Not on the light web. Everybody on the light web is an Ohio State fan. O-H. I-O. Right response every time. Thanks, light web. Subscribe to the light web today for your 1-week free trial. We know you're not going to be dissatisfied, as we have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Brought to you by Flip Switch Industries, bringing us the technology we all deserve.
All right, so we are back, and we are doing our best to get Stephanie on the line. And until then, we're just going to go ahead and talk about some of the things that I have talked with her before about, just in case she ends up not being able to get in. So one of the things about solar is that this year there's a new incentive that they've recently raised the incentive. So any homeowners that go solar this year gets 30% off the total cost to go solar. So with that, it's also going to include if you, let's say you need a new roof before you can go solar, that kind of thing. It also pays 30% of that. And you get it back at the end of the year in your taxes. So that's one way that people are able to save money with solar, is just with the tax incentive that they get at the end of the year. And it's not a small amount, it's 30%. So, you get that back at the end of the year for the next few years in your taxes. And that alone is going to save you money. Now, another thing is that this company's goal is going to be to take the amount of money that you're spending on electricity right now. Let's say it's $200, just for a round number. Okay, if your average cost for electricity is $200, what they want to do is bring your energy cost down. So if they could do that, it's basically a bill swap. You would not be paying your electric company anymore. You would be paying for your solar panels. And like I was telling you earlier, people that are using their credit to build wealth, this is one of the ways that you can use your credit to accommodate wealth. Another thing that they said is that it also brings up the value of your home about 4.8%. So with that, I know a lot of people have questions about, their home, if they choose to sell their home, because the market is hot right now. So one of the things that I asked was, well, what if these people are planning on moving? Because I alone know so many people who are selling their homes because the market is so good for selling right now. And so what they said was that anybody who goes solar that sells their house later, their home not only sells for 4.8% more, but that their home actually sells twice as fast because their home provides their own energy. And people are looking for that right now, especially with, the cost of energy being what it is. So after that, let me think of something else that I was asking her about. So basically, some people are worried about the integrity of their roof. And a lot of people want to know, why would they put solar panels on their roof if, you're basically drilling holes into the roof? Wouldn't that cause a leak? And that's when it's really important to make sure that you have a good, reputable company. And the reason why I chose to contact Megawatt was because they have a really good company, and they work with really good companies. So with that, what I found is that when you have a company that has integrity, that is a good company to work with, you're not going to have to worry about the integrity of the work done. So from there, you can say that, the warranty on your solar panels are only going to be as good as the company that you get your solar panels through. So with Megawatt, I know that they have a special I don't think that they worded it as a warranty. I think that they said it was more like an insurance program that covers the roof, the panels, and the work done. So, when I asked her about that, she was like, yeah, that's covered as well. So, it seems like all around, solar seems to be the way that people can save money. They can make an investment in their home. And then when it comes down to it, you're getting that extra 30% at the end of the year. And, that's something that everybody can appreciate because, who doesn't pay taxes, right? Apparently some people don't, but if you're retired, I guess you wouldn't. But for that alone, it seems like it would be well worth it to go solar. Oh, and another thing that that they brought up that I thought it made sense to me was that once you purchase solar panels, you're going to have X amount of time before they're paid off, right? And a lot of people, are saying, well, why would I give my money to the solar panel company, when my electric company works just fine? Well, electric companies are raising their prices at outrageous rates, and they have to. So one of the things that that they mentioned was that with the cost of solar being what it is, with nothing out of pocket, you saving money as soon as you turn the panels on, bringing the cost down and everything else. These panels, once you're done paying for them, you don't pay for your electricity anymore. But if you stay with the electric company, you're basically married to the electric company. So with that being said, you're basically taking the ring off and you don't have a commitment anymore once your panels are paid. So from my point of view, and what I was thinking was that it does seem like many people could save money with solar. So what I decided to do was go ahead and give them a shout out. And I hope that I explained everything correctly and with well enough wordage or verbiage. So I know that I guess Stephanie was having some difficulties contacting us. But for the record, they are a company based out of Tampa, Florida. They're Megawatt. And if you go ahead and decide to purchase solar with this company and you tell them that I sent you, just say, hey, Allie sent me. She told me that I might be able to save money. You can call them at 727-888-1146. It's right down there, okay? And with that, you let them know that I sent you. They're going to give you $1,000 upon installation. So what they're going to want to do when you call is they're going to get some information from you, see which programs you qualify in your area for. And from there, they're going to go ahead and give you a presentation that shows you how much energy your home can produce. You can compare it to how much energy you use and decide if going solar would benefit you or not. And from what she was telling me, the numbers are right there in black and white. You're going to be able to tell right away if you're going to be able to save money to switch to solar or not. So with that being said, in the research that I've done, that's one of the best ways that homeowners today are able to save a little bit of money. And, every little bit counts. So why not at least look into it? Apparently their meetings are only about a half an hour to an hour long. It would depend on how many questions you have for your solar expert. And from there, you will see in black and white whether it would save you money to switch to solar or if you should keep your electric company. And that's going to be for anybody who's a homeowner that has a home with a roof. And for some people who are on, over an acre of property, I know that they have ground panels as well. So I know a lot of people are doing that as well. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the show on money. I'm going to go ahead on my way home. I'm going to listen to some Pink Floyd, Money, and, just kind of get in my mood. Don't forget, if you feel like you're not making enough money, there's many ways to go ahead and research things that interest you that you can invest in, companies that you can look at that can help you create wealth. People are monetizing off of social media. There are ways to make money, and you don't have to be an accountant, if you know what I mean. Because accountants these days, you never know if somebody's an actual accountant and they're counting money or numbers, or if they're an accountant, meaning, they sell their used panties on eBay or something like that. I don't know. You don't have to do that though. Feet pics, that's kind of harmless, but hey, however you got to make your money, whether you're manifesting it or you're going out there and making it happen any other way, just fill your pockets. And remember, money should always flow through you. Y'all have a really good rest of your day, and we'll see you next week. Bye.